I told you you might have a PlayStation 4 laying around that could be worth a few extra bucks. Check this out. You see, just a little over a decade ago, right before Konami split with Hideo Kojima and pretty much stopped making games, the greatest game that never was happened. And let me tell you a little story about the legend of a game called PT. What exactly was PT? What happened to PT? How come you can't play PT anymore? Well, right after finishing up Metal Gear Solid 5, Mr. Kojima started work on a brand new game. And it was at Gamescom in 2014 when Konami would stealth release PT, which stood for Playable Teaser or Playable Trailer. And it launched exclusively on the PlayStation Network, day and date. So when they announced it, you could just go to the PlayStation Network and download it. Nobody knew what it was. And even once you would boot the game up, a development team logo would pop up to a development team that didn't exist. And people were miffed. And the game opens up as the character wakes up off of a floor and then walks into a hallway of a house where the entire experience takes place. And it took lots of people on the internet putting their brains together to figure out this puzzle. But after enough people worked together, it was figured out. And here's the genius part. Once you would complete the exact sequence of actions throughout this playable teaser, it triggered an ending. And in the ending, the whole world opened up, the camera pans around to reveal, well, actually, I'm not gonna tell you. What would be more fun is if I just showed you, which is exactly what my wife and I are going to do this Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time on the Twitch channel, because this PlayStation 4 still has a copy of PT installed on it. And unfortunately, only months later, Hideo Kojima and Konami would have a split, and the game in question would get canceled. PT was pulled off of the PlayStation Network, never to be seen again. And the only way that you can play it is if you already had it downloaded. Even if you downloaded it and deleted it, you can't re-download it. Which is why there are some PlayStation 4s out there that are actually worth just a little bit more money. And truth be told, more recently, there have been some workarounds to actually play the game. But why would you want to do that when you can come watch it this Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time on Twitch? Tofer.A plays. Because if you have not experienced PT, I highly suggest it. And if you haven't watched my wife play a horror game, may I suggest that as well.